ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome. We have, no viewers left. Awesome. Welcome to Attack of the Show, TV's only source for all the stuff you care about. My name is right there. You can read it. Too lazy.
And I'm Candace Bailey. We're coming to you live from the G4 studios in Los Angeles.
I feel like you should be leaping a ravine in General Lee right now. No, you should definitely. That's very Dukes of Hazzard. I like it.
I know, it is very Dukes
nice.
of Hazzard.
Hey, on the show today, Chris Jericho. He's here to make you a champion in just 1,372 easy steps. See?
What?
All I have to do is buy his book, his new book. So I guess it's like one step, and then you'll be a champ.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Then we'll highlight an ambidextrous artist in a new feature we call Nerd Jobs. Meet a guy who creates photorealistic covers to comics and Dungeons & Dragons, which basically means this guy gets paid to draw friggin' dragons, which
Awesome.
pretty sweet.
Plus, Chris Gore is here for DV Doomsday. He's the Simon Cowell of new movies.
Wow.
Tonight he'll unload his sass mouth on Due Date, Megamind, and the new animated All-Star Superman movie.
Yeah!
Exciting. Get some applause for that.
Well, they lost their breath with excitement.
Okay. And we'll show you how to load your iPad with comics and magazines for mere pennies.
Oh.
And take you on a tour of the YouTube time machine and go hack your stuff.
Love it. Love it.
So right now, it's time to run down the top 5 things on the web.
Okay, let's go around the net.
Okay.
All right, folks, last week there was a haunting trailer for a new zombie game, Dead Island. You guys remember that? It went viral, to say the least. It was amazing.
But today at number 5, YouTuber Varied, or Varied, I don't know how you say it, gives the disturbing footage a rather charming Minecraft makeover.
That's not easy to do. Kudos. That was good.
Admit that was amazing.
I do, and I think horrible zombie murder is actually kind of adorable when it's blocky, so good job.
It is.
You can tell it wasn't on a public server because the word penis wasn't being spammed up the left side of the screen the entire time. I'd like to see them try to pull that off in a public one. Just saying.
In at number 4, every great corporation has a catchy jingle. For example, a New York company called Professional Fire Restoration Services.
Yeah, if their business plan doesn't work out, I'm pretty sure their rocking ode to catastrophic home damage might have a future on the Billboard Hot 100.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke, rage, and fire. Flood waters rising higher and higher. And when it's over, well, what then? Will it ever look like home again? Professional fire restoration, cleaning up a messy situation. Ceiling to floor, even better than before. Professional fire restoration.
Yeah! 3rd-degree burns! Yeah!
I can't wait for the Burning Love World Tour.
That's the best fire damage-based jam band ever. I'm telling you.
Agreed.
I like when the chorus strikes, like it should be this epic rocking moment. It's just dudes in collared shirts hanging out. Hi. Today's number 3 item is the end result of having a good inkjet printer, lots of time, and possibly some mind-altering substances. I wouldn't know. I'm just saying.
You wouldn't know.
Yes, I would.
Take 1 part animal pictures and 1 part half-assed beatboxing. Combine them in Australia with a strangely catchy soundtrack, and you've got Animal Beatbox, the winner of the annual Trop Fest Short Film Festival.
Dogs and cats and 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 dogs.
Monkey, it's monkey, and another monkey. pelican, toucan, cobra, koala, cheetah, chipmunk, chicken, chihuahua, numbat, wombat, gecko, snail, jailbird, jellyfish, quagga, quail, hornet, hummingbird, great white sharks, buzzard, zebra, freaky aardvark, moose, goose, dinosaur, dingo, poodle, panther, pink flamingo.
Yes.
I like that.
That's pretty good. Monkey.
I love a monkey.
That's pretty good animal-based rap, but I still think my beatbox about the Portuguese stingray is way better. I really do.
It's also not safe for TV.
Yep. True. Sorry about that.
If you're trying to make a video to get into Around the Net, having two guys shooting fireworks at each other is a good start.
Yes, but today's number 2 item goes the extra step, the one you take towards the emergency room. That is awesome. No, that's incredible. Are you talking? That is every 4th of July should have the firework facial. I think no camping trip is complete without it.
Now he has to take a Roman holiday to the plastic surgeon's office.
Oh! Hey-o. Now sound effect. All right, still ahead. Murder, Bieber style.
See a promising career end in a hail of bullets in our number 1 Around the Net.
Still nothing. All right, we'll get it. We'll figure it out.
Today's ATN featured 2 guys engaging in a duel by way of Roman candles. Aside from that fireball, we want to know, what was going through his head at this moment? Tweet us your responses at AOTS #OMGROFLOL. If your response makes us explode with laughter, we will feature it on this Friday's show.
Androgynous heartthrob, Justin Bieber. Yeah, pains me
The
too.
Biebs' talents aren't just limited to perpetually perfect hair and inoffensive chart-topping hits. He's also a bit of an actor.
This scene from his recent stint on CSI was posted just about 5 days ago. It already has more than 11 million hits. But it's easy to see why. It really is.
Wish fulfillment.
Hands on your head. You're down on your knees.
He's wired. He's got a bomb.
He's lying. There's no bomb. What? Don't shoot. Don't shoot. No!
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I mean, I could
Shoulder
watch
shot.
that clip all day. You really believe he's getting shot to hell?
I don't see what the big deal is, but whatever. Yeah, okay, clap, Bieber,
Come
whatever.
on, this is footage of Bieber getting shot. You should be all over this.
I mean, whatever.
Wait a minute. This is because they didn't use you as a stunt double, right?
Well, of course it is. Oh, no, don't. No, they told me my deaths weren't dignified or masculine enough. And then they air that crap. I out-Biebered Bieber, so whatever.
Why do I get the feeling you're about to show us your death scenes?
Because I am. Baby. Oh. OMG at Usher. Totes just got shot. Hashtag ow. Don't shoot! I have the president of my fan club. Jerk. CS, I don't think so. From Justin Bieber.
Those are really good, Kevin. I think you did a great job.
I workshopped that Bieber impression for a whole 10, 12 seconds before we shot it on green screen today, so pretty proud of that
Just
bit.
like him.
Yeah, that was
Amazing.
Yeah. You guys circle that one. That one's going on the reel for sure. That one's really going on there.
It's a big win when you can make a living outside of a cubicle. And Attack of the Show is going to start bringing you the luckiest geeks with the best nerd jobs we can find.
Yes, today's lucky bastard creates amazing art for comics and Dungeons & Dragons book covers by drawing art with both hands at the same time.
Wow.
Now, when you think nerdy jobs, you think guys who build computer motherboards or the guys that collide the stuff over in Switzerland, right? But that is just the tip of the iceberg. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dig deep into the workforce to find the most awe-inspiring, ridiculously nerdy jobs that you wish you had.
Rob Pryor has one of the greatest nerd jobs in the universe. As an artist, he's illustrated covers for the likes of Spawn the Impaler to the Terminator series, and got his big break illustrating the iconic Dungeons & Dragons covers of the 80s.
It takes a while to get to a point in your career where you're like, I'm working from home, and if you don't like it, then you don't have to hire me. So how did you get started in this whole thing?
No, I started with airbrushing t-shirts. For a long time at like Dungeons & Dragons conventions and comic book conventions. I kept doing that for a couple of years, and I got really, really good at doing photorealistic characters, and nobody else was doing that at the time. And finally, at enough conventions, somebody would look at it and go, oh, we could use that.
Did your style kind of develop from that? Because you are, one of the preeminent, if not the best photorealistic artist, in the world.
I just kind of had to work at it. I picked a niche of photorealism, which also worked commercially for me because I could do book covers. I could transition from a commercial piece to a non-commercial piece.
How do you get to a point where you're doing cover art for Marvel, where you're doing heavy metal magazine covers?
When you're at conventions, submit your art over and over, get rejected over and over again. You have to continually do art. I mean, you can't just relax, and when you're first starting out, you just got to pump it out.
So tell me what you're working on now that's really cool.
I'm working with a company called Killspace, and we're coming out with a fully interactive medium. It's movies, games, comics, all combined into one. It's something that unlike anybody has ever seen. With this whole combination of things, it's being able to see somebody get a gun put to their head, to actually watch their brains get blown out, and then in order to read anything on the last panel, you have to wipe off the pad.
And then Blood Merchant, expand on it.
This is probably the last time I'll do a fully painted, by hand painted book. I haven't done something like this forever, and I really don't think it's been done in a long time. I think, like since the days of like Arkham Asylum and stuff like that, there's not a lot of like painted stuff that's not on computer nowadays.
Talk about something you do that's very unique. You can actually create art with both hands at the same time.
I did it in order to start saving time.
Are you ambidextrous in life or just with this?
When I was really young, I had a very paranoid thought about losing one of my hands. I was like, I better learn how to...
Gotta figure this out, left hand.
And, fortunately, it hasn't happened yet.
Some fancy fingerwork indeed, but could he maintain his focus and capture this beauty in one passionate stroke?
That's good. That's good.
You like that?
That's good. That's good. This is gonna be a masterpiece. Yeah, it's awesome, dude. Awesome.
Cool.
I'm done. You want to see this?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Oh, that is nice. That is photorealistic. That looks exactly like I look in the mirror. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for having us, man.
Of course,
really
brother.
appreciate it. It's been awesome, and you really do have one of the coolest nerd jobs on the planet. You will not see this on eBay. This is special to me. Did I put my finger in my mouth?
Yeah, think of livestock.
Oh, yeah.
What is that pose?
I don't know, but I hope he laminated that artwork professionally. It's fine.
Today's viewer poll presented by AT&T is, what dream job would you want? Your choices are game designer, DJ, astronaut, or comic book artist. Log on to G4TV.com to vote now, and we'll have the results later on in the show.
Wish I had a nerd job.
You have, like, the best nerd job.
I want to do VO for hentai. Still ahead, the Santa Claus of disc-based entertainment returns. Chris Gore will join us with Due Date, Megamind, and All-Star Superman on DV Tuesday.
And later, WWE superstar and author Chris Jericho will be here live in studio to tell us how to become a champion and what it's like to smash a chair over someone's head.
What happens next?
Oh, look, it's a Russian construction site. So what happens next? Does the rope snap? Does one of the workers let go too early? Or does the chimney fall through the roof? Find out when we return.
And now, a hot chick silently judges you.
look, it's a Russian construction site. So what happens next? Does the rope snap? Does one of the workers let go too early? Or does the chimney fall through the roof? In Soviet Russia, I'll demolish you.
And now, folks, it's time for the only segment on AOTS that is literally full of win. It's today's epic giveaway.
An HBO Home Entertainment, not you.
Yeah, easy there.
HBO Home Entertainment prize pack, including Big Love Season 4 on DVD, True Blood Seasons 1 and 2 on Blu-ray, The Pacific, the complete series on Blu-ray, Deadwood, the complete series on Blu-ray, and Flight of the Conchords, the complete collection on DVD.
That was a run-on sentence.
That's amazing.
Plus, plastic phone from our old set. Whatever. To enter, visit our website at g4tv.com/epic giveaway. Try to read all that text very quickly. Get your entry in between now and February 23rd by 3 p.m. Eastern. If you want to be eligible, we'll announce the winner right here on tomorrow's show. We're good like that. But now let's roll up a newsreader, D&D style. Clap.
I've got a Sarah Underwood with plus 30 charisma.
Oh, hello.
Thanks, guys. Right now it's time to start the feed. It's Tuesday, February 22nd, and here are your top stories. Hey, you guys excited for the next iPad and iPhone? Yeah! Too bad they're delayed. Multiple sources are reporting delays in Apple's production facilities in China and Taiwan due to a last-minute design change. Now, the next iPad's release might get pushed 2 months to June and the next iPhone to September. However, a few sites with curiously unnamed sources have emerged in Apple's defense, saying the reports aren't true. But as is often the case with Apple, we probably won't know for sure until someone in a turtleneck stands on a stage in Cupertino. Very true. Amazon set their sights on Netflix today by opening up unlimited commercial-free streaming of movies and TV shows to Prime members. Yes! Those with Amazon Prime currently cough up about $80 a year to enjoy unlimited free 2-day shipping. But now they can brag about a library of 5,000 movies and shows that can be viewed on anything from Google TV to your mobile device, all for no additional cost. Unfortunately, college students enjoying their free Prime student subscription won't get access to the additional service. Oh, and if you're living outside the continental U.S., you are also SOL. Yeah. Microsoft is suddenly eager to make friends with people who mod the Xbox Kinect. The no controller interface has been making the rounds in the modding community ever since it came out, but now Microsoft is officially opening up their hands-free motion controller and releasing an SDK to encourage alternative development. The kit will be aimed at developing specific applications for Windows 7, so now we'll all get to sit at our computers and dance and wave our hands in the air like idiots. The future is now! Yay! And finally, we note the passing of comics pioneer Dwayne McDuffie. McDuffie co-founded the Milestone Comics imprint, an important landmark for African-American comic book characters, writers, and artists. He also wrote cartoons like Justice League Unlimited and the animated adaptation of All-Star Superman. His impact on comics will continue to be celebrated by fans across the world. I'm Sarah Underwood, and you've just been fed. Here is Robot News.
Thanks to Hollywood, humans have always speculated that robots will one day turn against their creators. But now, it's time to prove those sci-fi films wrong with a robot that knows what's right. Introducing Now, the world's first ethical robot. At only 23 inches tall and weighing just over 9 pounds, Now was originally used in Japan's RoboCup competitions to score goals. Today, Now can make situational decisions based on good ethics thanks to researchers at the University of Hartford. Using its head-mounted camera and a custom computer program, Now has learned ethical principles that cover a series of right decisions. For example, in a pharmaceutical environment, Now can determine how often to remind a patient to take their medicine. If rejected, Now knows to either notify the doctor or remind the patient again later.
It is time to take your medication.
No.
Okay. and remind you later.
The idea is to build a system of trust in these machines, and then someday employ them on a daily basis. That is, until they figure us out and then blow everything up. In the sports world, however, robots need no ethics, just skill. That's why a South Korean company has created InBirdie, the world's first virtual golfing robot. Sure, there have been plenty of golf bots before, but InBirdie is the first one capable of competing in a full round of virtual golf with multiple players. Standing nearly 4 feet tall and weighing 66 pounds, this Tiger Woods wannabe can calculate the exact distance between the ball and a hole, as well as the incline. InBirdie then positions itself and draws a putt at an 85% success rate. The built-in speakers and touchscreen allow it to be controlled by its competitors locally and remotely, while an LED array in its head displays facial expressions. The project aims to make InBirdie an unbeatable player on the putting green. After that, a new mechanism for its full swing, and it'll be ready for the 9th hole. Lastly, our little blue planet isn't the only one getting the robotic treatment. Mars is in on the action as well with the rover's newest landing system. Appropriately named the Sky Crane, this gigantic claw in the sky recently passed its deployment test for setting the Curiosity Mars rover down on the red planet in 2012. On Mars, the Sky Crane will be supporting itself using rockets, and when Curiosity hits the ground, the cabling will detach from the crane using a set of pyros. The Sky Crane then flies off and crashes somewhere, while Curiosity moves on to explore the red planet and find us some aliens. From bots with brains to bots with skills, it doesn't matter what Hollywood makes you think, because at the end of the day, we all love robots.
When new DVDs hit store shelves, we honor them with a celebration of DVD Day. Welcome back, film expert Chris Gore.
We look so cute together.
We do. We're very matchy-matchy.
We match. You got my text message.
Yes, I did.
Great.
Twinsies. All right, what's up first?
Due date.
Now, what do you think of the Odd Couple road trip film?
I think I saw this movie before when it was called Hangover. It's
not even as good as Hangover.
Well, that's true. It's kind of like, it's like Hangover 1.5, and just sort of half the comedy, less than half the comedy, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have to say, what kind of bugs me about the movie is all the billboards have the dog in it, the cute little Frenchie, and it's barely in the movie.
Barely a dog.
That's what bothered me about this.
And I'll go you one further. You know what bothered me? They had Iron Man in the movie, and he never puts on the Iron Man costume. That would have been such a much better movie.
I agree.
And
I totally agree
Zach
with you.
could have been Warhammer. Missed opportunity all the way, unfortunately.
So what's the bottom line?
Pass. I'm sorry, folks.
Agreed.
I wanted to love it.
I agree with you.
I wanted to love it. That's right.
All right, what's our next DVD?
The next one is Megamind.
Megamind. Now, when people think animated superhero movies, they probably think of The Incredibles. How does this one compare?
Well, it compares in the sense that it's a different take on a superhero movie because this is from the point of view of a villain.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about this film, if I would tell you that the number one cause of death for supervillains, falling. The Joker in Batman 1989, Hans Gruber in Die Hard, the Emperor in Star Wars all died from falling. Oh. And when we meet Megamind at the beginning of the movie, he's falling.
That's true.
And I love this whole take with Will Ferrell. He's just
I do too. It was really
funny. He's so good in this, and it's really not a kids movie. It's more of a romantic comedy for adults that happens to be animated.
But I love that you come to love the villain.
Yes, you sort of see his pitfalls. I think, you know what, girls tend to like bad guys.
Now, the DVD is loaded with extras, Chris?
Oh, yeah. No, this thing is packed with extras, including, like, a video commentary, a short called The Button of Doom, a bonus short, and all kinds of behind-the-scenes. And what's interesting, if you watch the behind-the-scenes, which I do...
You do.
You would have known that this was originally supposed to be a live-action movie with Ben Stiller.
Really?
Yeah. Years ago. Yeah, the script was around forever. But you didn't listen to the commentary, did you? I did! And now you know that. What? I'm just saying.
I'm so glad you listened to it.
Yeah,
Thank you for doing that for us.
Save you the trouble.
Bottom line, Chris?
Bottom line, buy it. Buy it.
All right.
I loved Megamind. I loved it.
Now, what else do we have to check out?
All-Star Superman.
All-Star Superman. For those not familiar with the comic book of the same name, we should make clear that this is more of a reimagining of Superman than a new movie with the character.
Right. I mean, what I like about this, too, is Clark Kent is really a big part of it. You see that he's sort of goofy and clumsy and geeky and nerdy. He's really like a different character. I like sort of the insight with him. And I don't know, I like that it's really smart. I mean, these sort of... They're like cartoon adaptations of the comics are really not just for kids anymore.
Okay, does the film come with any extras?
Yeah, actually, my favorite extra is there's a commentary with Bruce Timm and Grant Morrison, the writer of the comic book, and they it's like having two of the greatest minds in comics are having a private conversation talking about just everything, how they were influenced, their influences are, things they've liked and not liked, and it was amazing.
Okay, so bottom line?
Bottom line is buy it. Don't miss it. Yeah.
I think we've got a little time for a quick pick.
I've got quite an interesting quick pick today. Filmmaker in a box. I know some of our viewers aspire to, be filmmakers. This will actually instruct you in how to make a film. And it's not.
Oh, that's awesome.
You can only get it from the website filmmakerinabox.com. It's a little pricey, but it also happens to come with a bonus movie. 2 Million Stupid Women, which our very own Sarah Underwood is in this, folks.
Sarah Underwood!
And it tells you all about how they made 2 Million Stupid Women.
Well, that's awesome. Well,
Great.
Chris, thank you.
Thank you.
For
Awesome.
more Gore, follow him on Twitter at @ChrisGore. Thanks for coming, Chris.
Thank you.
Now let's head over to Kevin.
That'd be a weird buddy cop flick. Really, the two of you dressed like that? All right. We know the one thing that you want to see after a good attack of the show. Crazy parkour acrobatics, right? Well, guess what? That's why Jump City Seattle is coming up right after we're done. The Tribe and Miami Free Running will go head-to-head in speed and freestyle rounds in an all-new episode. So just head to g4tv.com/jumpcity for more info. Or you can do absolutely nothing and just stay there and keep watching. And you should do that anyways, because former WWE champion Chris Jericho joins us live. I will oil him up personally. You don't want to miss this. Stick around.
The feed is brought to you by HTC. At HTC, every innovation we create is inspired by you.
Fail. You're dead. Major fail. Fail. Good. Fail, 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 fail. You lose.
Folks, my next guest used to beat people up with furniture for a living, and now he's written a book telling you how to do it. Joining me, the author of Undisputed, How to Become the World Champion in 1,372 Easy Steps, Chris Jericho!
Nice! Yeah!
Welcome back, sir.
Nice to be here.
How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great.
Yeah. Kudos on the book, man. It's I know it's selling like hotcakes.
New York Times bestseller.
Look at you.
I'm now a 2-time New York Times bestselling author, which means I'm smart.
Yes, you've arrived. Do you get a placard? Do you get a card?
I need a pipe and an ascot.
You're close enough. I think we can get you a brandy sifter.
And like a ring, like a World Series ring for best selling authors.
There's no
there really
isn't.
belt
There's
or no ribbon.
Trophy?
No, not the trophy.
You've got enough belts, man.
I do.
Do you have a belt closet? Where do you keep? Do you get
actually,
to keep the belts?
The thing is, you're not allowed to say belt anymore. The Vince McMahon verdict is their titles or championship belts.
Wow.
So when you say belt, it's very offensive to me. It's almost like Vince is going to yell at us. Don't say belt. Don't say belt. So, but the thing is,
I got to ask you, coming out of the WWE, is there like post-traumatic McMahon disorder? Like, are you actually in fear that Vince might be hiding behind a plasma right here and then pop out and give you the Santino?
It's like you're a prisoner of war, and when you get out of the war camp, you're just scared. You're looking for the guy to give you scraps. Yeah, I mean, working for Vince he's a genius, but as all geniuses, he's a little bit of a lunatic. But and that's actually what Undisputed deals with. When my first book, A Lion's Tale, was kind of all these trials and tribulations I went through to get to the WWE, which was my ultimate goal. And then once I got there, the dream was more of a nightmare. It was like I realized it was completely not ready for it. And then all these kind of tricks and traps I went through with my boss, who was telling me basically that I was terrible. About 9 weeks in, he took me in his office, and I thought he was going to give me a pat on the back. And he said, "You're like shits. You're green as grass. You're not worth the paper your contract is printed on." So it was a nice little pep talk.
But he was swaddling you, right? The entire time. He was just letting you know.
He was washing my feet. Yeah.
I mean, because you went in there. I mean, you had built up a name for yourself, to say the least, in WCW. You went into WWE. You thought clear. I mean, your first appearance was with The Rock, right?
Yeah,
you get to interrupt The Rock.
Yeah.
So you must go in there with some sort of chip on your shoulder, thinking, "All right, I've arrived. This is it."
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, and like I said,
then you got beat down.
Then realizing that I had to really hit the ground running and reinvent myself and kind of reevaluate who I was as a performer. But I mean, I had 9 years of experience to be able to do that, so it took a while. But I mean, here I am, 2011, and accomplished all I had. So it was a little bit of a rocky road, but it made for a great story. In
Absolutely,
the book.
yeah,
Absolutely,
incredible tale. Did you almost quit 1,000 times, or
no,
was that not an option?
No, because it wasn't an option, because it took so much time to get here. To hell with quitting. I mean, if I had to eat crow for the entire year and a half or whatever it was, I was happy to do it because I knew I could do it.
And to be like a performer, like on TV or a host or movie or whatever, you have to have glaring insecurities and ego issues. And then I talk with fighters and other athletes, and there's no denying that wrestling is incredibly athletic. That you guys are putting your bodies through the ringer every time you're out there. To do that, I heard you have to have daddy issues, and a piece of your brain has to be broken to want to put your body through that. So to be a wrestling superstar, to do something so physical and so performance-driven, how shattered do you have to be? Like, what is the neuroses?
Completely shattered. Yeah, parental issues. I was actually
I mean, putting up with the protein farts in the locker room must be
it's horrible. It's very traumatic. I was actually left in a Target by my parents when I was 4 and left to fend for myself. But I mean, one of the reasons why I was always able to get ahead in wrestling, because when I started, I was small. It was 1990. It was all about the 6'8" giant guys. But I always treated wrestling as show business. For me, it was all about show business, because when I was a kid, all I wanted to do was be a wrestler and be in a rock and roll band. Those are my 2 dreams. So when I started wrestling, it's like, I can't be the biggest guy physically, but I can have the biggest personality, the biggest charisma. So I didn't want to be Hulk Hogan or Ricky Steamboat. I wanted to be the Paul Stanley of wrestling, the David Lee Roth, the party host.
Right.
And that's kind of what led me through, and it helped me to get up the ranks, because I always had a little way to connect with the crowd. Because that's part of show business, whether it's wrestling or music or acting. You have to connect with the people that you're performing for.
Even if you're being the heel, you want the boos from the crowd.
Absolutely.
That's what you're going to thrive on.
Exactly.
That's what you're going for.
You want them to be booing, because that's your version of cheers. It's like winning an Oscar if people are telling you suck.
I convince myself that every time I walk the red carpet and hear nothing but jeers. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I'll be your heel. Whatever.
I like when you walk the red carpet too, and you can tell they don't know who you are, but they've taken the pictures. They obviously just have the flash bulb on. They're not actually taking pictures. Just flash, 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 flash. Thank you.
Yeah. There's a guy with a flashlight just flicking it on and off for me as he's going through the photos of real celebs.
Yeah, totally.
But so you said you had 2 dreams. Obviously, you achieved one, no question. You're the world champ. Then when you transition into music, did you expect that, hey, I'm going to have this following, I'm going to be iTunes #1, I'm taking Bieber down the moment I strum a guitar, or did you know you would have to work your way up?
Nobody can take Bieber down.
I'll tell you.
I just want to tell you that.
The next WrestleMania, if you just
I'm from
give him a
Canada, so
clothesline.
he's like a demigod there.
Really?
It's like Justin Bieber and Geddy Lee are like running the country now. I never had any problems with like starting at the bottom for anything that I've done. And the thing is, because I did it in wrestling, when Fozzy took off in '99, I didn't expect to be like, oh, we're going to sell 1 million records. And so that's another interesting dichotomy about the book, is that here I am performing in front of tens of thousands of people at Madison Square Garden one night, and the next night working at the Tribeca Rock Club in front of 55 people with my band, but still having the same passion for both. And then seeing the band grow the same way that Chris Jericho, the wrestler, grew 10 years earlier, and now it's like, we're playing festivals around the world and doing all this great touring and all this stuff, 5 albums in. So I was crazy enough to have 2 of these dreams and foolhardy enough to go for it. But I guess the bottom line of both my books is like, to get sappy, play sappy music. If you have a dream, you can make it come true.
So right here, one more time. One more time, right in there. Yeah, because we're out of time. We're out of time, right in here.
If you have a dream, you too can make it come true. Because the only people that are going to tell you can't do something.
No, that won't fit in a tweet. That won't fit in a tweet. You went too long. It's just got to be dream, make it true.
It'll be the TI tweet where it's like too much information. It goes to the line.
Chris, it's an excellent read.
Thanks,
and congrats on our success, man. You're a hell of a guy.
Thank you.
Chris Jericho, everybody. The book is actually everywhere now. You can probably download it, read it, or do whatever you kids do with the
Steal
text.
it, whatever you want.
It's time to go hack yourself. Go do it.
You don't need a time machine to relive your misspent youth. From classic video games and vintage comics to long-forgotten TV shows, here are 3 quick hacks for going retro in the digital age. First, at $2 a pop, loading up your iPad with comic books and magazines can be expensive. Instead, get all your old favorites for just pennies per issue. Here's how. You know those collections of magazines and comics that have been available on CD and DVD for years? Well, portable, PDF-friendly devices like the iPad finally make these things worth buying. Like to geek out on Star Trek? Stock up on more than 500 Klingon-filled comics for less than $10. That's 2 cents for each. Pick up 97 classic but timeless Archie comics for just $4. And although 50 Years of Mad magazine is pricier at $70, it's still a great bargain for fans. Only 12 cents an issue. Plus, all the Mad fold-ins work. Loading these PDFs onto an iPad couldn't be easier. Fire up iTunes and add them to your library, then sync to iBooks. Or upload the PDFs to a Dropbox account. Then download and view them inside Goodreader, one of our favorite PDF readers for the iPad. Once you've OD'd on comics, kick back with hours of TV nostalgia at the YouTube Time Machine. This web app pulls in thousands of classic TV shows and retro commercials from YouTube. Dial in a year, turn on autoplay, and prepare for a childhood flashback. Get specific by enabling just the categories you want to see, whether it's video games and commercials or non-stop music videos. You can save your favorites or help make the site better by adding your must-see TV to the database. YouTube Time Machine is a great way to rediscover some lost gems, and it won't cost you a dime. But your search for ultimate retro satisfaction won't be complete without a pint-sized handheld gaming system called the GP2X Wiz. We got ours from ThinkGeek.com for $100. To unlock the Wiz's true potential, visit openhandhelds.org. There, you can download emulators for your favorite platforms. Now that you have some emulators, you need games. A quick Google search should turn up plenty of ROMs, which are basically digital copies of classic games. ROMs are a legal gray area. To be safe, you should only download games you already own. Connect the Wiz to your computer and copy the emulators and ROMs to the 2 gigs of built-in storage. Finally, launch the emulator, choose your game, and prepare for an old-school flashback. The GP2X Wiz is an 8-bit freak's best friend, and it's small enough to take anywhere. Thanks to 21st century technology, classic TV, long-lost magazines, and retro gaming are only a tap or click away. All you have to do is go hack yourself.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah?
I go with that. Now, guys, someone typed all over the Twitter wall again. Guess we should read it.
I guess we should.
What do you want to read, Candace? You do it.
Maverick172. My sister walked in as you guys played that JB clip and busted out in tears and hasn't stopped crying. Oh, poor sister.
Mission accomplished. That's our goal, is really to make little girls cry. Just go and console her and say it's okay, and then really convince her that JB got a bullet to the brain. That's pretty good.
Kevin!
Why not?
That's so mean.
Who cares? She listens to Bieber.
If you want to be a part of the show and end up on our Twitter wall, tweet us at AOTS or use the hashtag AOTS.
Okay.
Okay.
Sweet.
Bye, Kevin.
Bye.
You better hop in your time machine because it's time to attack these marvels from the future. Note-taking. It's something that most of us despise doing. Well, in the future, things might be a little less exhausting thanks to the Note Slate. Designed to be cheap and low-tech compared to an iPad, this digital notebook will allow you to doodle and draw to your heart's content without wasting paper. With a 13-inch display, they plan to have multiple screen colors as well as Wi-Fi version, so you can share all your doodles and notes in real time with your friends. Due out later this year, the Note Slate is aiming for a $99 price tag. Nice. Haven't you always wished there was a more environmentally conscious way to share data? Yeah. No? Never? No. Oh well. Well, someone did. And now they've designed these Flashkus cardboard USB drives. Made of the recyclable material known as wood, these Russian-designed USB drives are perfect for anyone who hates plastic but still loves having pocket-sized storage. The tear-off drives will hold 4 to 16 gigs and will hopefully not dissolve if you ever get caught in the rain. While these are still in concept form, we look forward to more high and low-tech fusions in the future. Classrooms and board meetings will never be the same if LG and its new PinTouch multi-board ever have their way. First shown off at this year's CES, the PDP Pen Touch technology detects light from the pen, turning regular old whiteboards into magical video boards. The technology allows for both extreme accuracy and multiple users, and the screens have only a 1.5 millimeter border, so the display looks nearly seamless. The kids of tomorrow are going to be spoiled when these things start rolling out in the second half of this year. Head on over to g4tv.com/AOTS for info on all of these wonders of the future and more. Stick around, we've got a slip and smash in today's epic fail.
Number 56. Learn to levitate.
I'm doing it! I'm doing it!
This has been Things to Do While Waiting for Gran Turismo 5 to load.
Coming up tomorrow on an all-new Attack of the Show. Writer, director, and actor Kevin Smith will be here live to discuss his controversial new movie, Red State. Then Alex Simwise checks out the latest in holographic technology in the UK, including a 3D Will.i.am. And Adam Sessler stops by to review the ultraviolet polarizing game Bulletstorm on Game Break. See it tomorrow.
All right, folks, here are the results from today's viewer poll presented by AT&T. We asked you what dream job you would want.
Turns out 34% of you want to be game designers.
Oh.
Just narrowly beating out the job of comic book artist.
Not bad.
It's time for today's epic fail.
Okay. Even though it's freezing in much of the U.S., it's actually still summer somewhere, I think, right? Isn't that how it works?
And you can't celebrate good weather without a slip and slide and an idiot.
Yes. That was epic.
Well, he did make it into the pool eventually.
Yeah, he just had to drag his broken body to it. Other than that, he made it.
Fail the heavens for moving his landing zone slightly to the right.
What a show, folks, really. What a show. I want to thank Chris Jericho for being here and rocking it. I want to thank Sarah Underwood. Of course, I want to thank Chris Gore. I want to thank you.
I want to thank you. Stick around, an all-new episode of Jump City Seattle starts right now.
Good night, everybody.